Today we're going to be making a polar bear project inspired by the artist Ted Harrison. You will need 2 sheets of paper, a watercolor set, a paintbrush, a Sharpie marker or black marker, a black crayon or oil pastel, a rinse cup, scissors, and you're also going to need a glue stick. To begin, we're going to start with our black oil pastel or crayon on a vertical sheet of paper, and I'm going to just start by drawing some rolling hill shapes. I'm going to layer maybe 3 or 4 of these in my background. Next, I'm going to add some taller mountain shapes. I'm just going to start with 1 and then adding another one. My lines touch each other, but they never overlap. My line stops when it hits the other black outline. Now we're ready to start painting. You can kind of use whatever colors you like for this. There's no rule of warm or cool color. I'm going to paint each hill a different color. I can repeat colors if I want, as long as the colors aren't touching each other. Notice here I'm going to repeat purple, but it's okay because this color purple is not touching my other purple section. I'm going to finish up this last hill and then stop before I get to the sky. The sky of this project is not going to be solid color. We're actually going to do designs. So here I'm just practicing on a separate sheet of paper, but you can just practice on a whiteboard or just watch me and decide which one you want to do. You don't have to use a sheet of paper for this. You can do swirls, dotted lines, squiggly lines like I'm doing now. It's your choice. Now I'm ready to fill my sky. I've decided to just do sort of a dotted line, and I'm going to use a few different colors. Please remember, you don't have to do the same colors as me or even the same design. You can choose whatever design and colors you like. When my sky is finished, I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I'm going to grab my second sheet of paper to start my polar bear. I'm using my Sharpie marker to draw. If you would like to draw with pencil and then trace with Sharpie, that's fine too. I'm going to start with an oval shape, sort of in the center of my paper, with a smaller oval inside. That's going to be my polar bear's nose, and of course my polar bear's mouth, coloring in the nose shape. Next, I'm going to give my polar bear 2 eyes, one on either side of that initial oval we made, which is actually the polar bear's snout. So just 2 dots, I'm coloring them in. Next, we're going to do the shape of the body. So starting at the top, and it's going to get a little wider as it goes down to the bottom of your paper. Doing that on both sides. Of course, my polar bear needs some ears, so I'm giving my polar bear 2 ears with an inside section that I'm coloring in black. Now I'm going to give my bear some arms by drawing a curved line that starts on the side. It kind of curves in and then back up. I'll flip my paper here in a second to show you a little bit better. And I'm also using my marker to just color in some little claws for my polar bear. You can see that better in a minute here when I flip my paper. The last thing I need to draw on my polar bear is just some texture to make my bear look like it is more 3D and has fluffy fur. So I'm just adding, right with my Sharpie, some little dashes to give my bear some texture. Now I'm going to carefully cut my bear out, going around the ears, not chopping them off, please. Take your time and cut right beside your black outline. Now I'm ready to glue my bear to the background. So flipping my bear over, I'm just going to use my glue stick and put a little bit of glue the whole way around the outside of my polar bear. And then I'm going to flip it back over, carefully place it on my dry background, make sure there aren't any wet puddles. And please make sure the bottom of your polar bear is touching the bottom of your paper. And that's it. We're gonna hold on to this so we can put it on Artsonia. Make sure you take a picture using your Chromebook.